All right, you guys are in for a very special treat. Today in this YouTube video, I'm gonna break down the exact lead acquisition system that I'm using, that all my students are using, and probably nobody else is using right now, that scaled my agency to 20K per month plus, scaled my info product to 10K per day, and it scaled Hoku's info product to 30K per month. Now, to most of you guys, a surprise. You're thinking, okay, he spammed ads. Okay, he did a bunch of cold outreach. Okay, he did a bunch of YouTube content and ran ads to his YouTube. No, we did it without going viral. Okay, we did it without having to rely on going viral, at least. We did it without doing any outbound whatsoever. We didn't touch a single cold DM. We didn't do any cold email. We didn't do any cold calls whatsoever. All of the leads that came to us were warm and ready to buy. Okay, and we did it without spending an outrageous amount of money on ads. On average, we spent less than $800 a month on ad spend. That's wild, okay, to hit these numbers, to do less than $800 a month on ad spend. Now, we also did it without having to experience inconsistent revenue. Okay, we didn't go to 30K per month and then drop to 5K per month. We didn't go to 15K per month and then drop to 3K per month. We made sure that did not happen. So stick with me throughout this entire video. I'm gonna explain the exact system, everything, nothing held back whatsoever. And you guys can do what you want with that information. I know 90% of you guys will probably take the free info and leave. And you know, I can't do anything about that. That's kind of your issue. You guys just gotta solve that for yourselves and ask yourselves, you know, why am I getting so much free info and I'm not implementing anything? Why am I so fucking retarded? You know, those are some things you kind of just have to ask yourself. So we're gonna dive into this. As you can see here, we have hijacked, which are probably you guys are like, what the fuck is that? What is hijacks? What is speed to lead? And what is 10-point iOS? You're seeing all these things and you're like, yo, no, why are you putting so much confusing words on the whiteboard to confuse us? No, these aren't confusing words and you guys will understand exactly why. These are all three pieces of my system that scaled me to 20K per month, 10K a day. All these other numbers, I could talk all day and night about these numbers, and you guys can check my Instagram for the real results and screenshots, and I'll pop up a couple as well right now. But first things first, let's tackle the speed to lead funnel. As you can see, there's a funnel here, okay? This funnel is a very simple funnel. Now, all we do with the speed to lead funnel, let's bring it over here. What we're doing here is we're bringing cold traffic into hot traffic, ready to buy. That's what any funnel is supposed to do. How we do that though is using Instagram and YouTube combined, right? Just organic content on Instagram and YouTube. And we run paid ads on Instagram. Okay, from Instagram with the paid ads, we funnel them into a free lead magnet, but not just a regular free lead magnet. This is why it's called speed to lead. We funnel them into a lead magnet that keeps the momentum strictly from their ads. So when they come from the ad, they have a lot of momentum. They want to buy your product. They like what you're servicing for. They like what you have for service. With all that momentum, when they come through from the ad, we want to reach out to them as soon as humanly possible. And we have automated systems. We have automated software for our clients to make this happen. But that is the speed to lead funnel. All we do is we get to them as soon as humanly possible to turn them from warm to hot in a span of not even 24 hours. Okay, most people like to wait. They like to lay around, maybe DM them maybe after like 5 hours after they follow or anything like that, and then they push them into a lead magnet with a story CTA, anything like that. We don't do that. We go very, very fucking quick, and that's the reason we are able to bring so many leads to us on autopilot, and all we have to do with a push of a button, increase ad spend, and we know like on average our team's ROAS for all of our students is about 8 to 9x on ROAS. That's revenue, right? So that means if you put $1 in, you'll get about $8 out. You put 1,000 in, you'll get 8,000 out, okay? Now, with that funnel out of the way, and now that you understand this is what we use to bring leads to us on autopilot without us having to do anything other than continue posting value, providing value without having to go viral. We don't have to do any outreach whatsoever. This next part, the hijack system that I'm about to go over, is gonna be the biggest game changer, and this is what truly changed the game for me. And this is something that nobody is doing right now. And it is ethical. I will get into that, and you guys will understand why I have to preface that by saying it is ethical. But yeah, let's just dive into it. Enough talking. Let's just dive into this. Okay, so the hijack system. What it sounds like is what? Hijack. Stealing something, right? What we do is, what we understand is everybody and their fat little fucking brother is running ads. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can't. Everybody and their fat little brother is running ads. And if we understand that we're spending less than about $800 on ads, because ad prices have been increasing like insanely the past couple months, If we're spending less than $1,000 a month on ads, but we know there's killers out here, there's people out here who are spending tens of thousands of dollars per day on ads, and they're targeting the same quality of lead, the same lead that we want to target. Who's gonna get the leads? Them. They're spending we're spending a fraction of the amount that they're spending on ads. They're going to get those leads. The Facebook isn't gonna give us those leads. We're targeting the same exact lead. Let's say we're targeting coaching business owners stuck under 5K a month. The person running 10K a day versus me running 20 bucks a day, they're gonna get the leads, right? So this is where the hijack system comes in. And this is a software that I built. It's a fully custom built software that I built with my development team. And what it does is we implement a targeting section. Okay, now with the targeting section, what we put in here is the Instagram handles of our competition. Okay, let me spell it right. Okay, we put the Instagram handle of our competition. So anybody who you think is in your competition, who you know is in your competition and they're running ads, you wanna put in their Instagram handle. Now, after you put in the Instagram handle, there's a couple more filters that we throw in here, and I have a complete video explaining the exact hijack system and what the software looks like. But when you get in here, the extra key components for targeting is gonna be the likers, the people who liked their posts, the people who followed them, because most of the guys who are running ads right now are running follow ads. Right? Follow me for more information. Once that lead follows our competitor, what our system does is it goes into that lead's system, it goes into that lead's Instagram, and it starts engaging with them automatically. You don't do anything. You just have to run the process, run the operation, and it'll do its own thing. And it'll start interacting with our competitors' leads. Right? That's why it's called the hijack system. We're hijacking their leads ethically, right? We're not just directly stealing them and saying, hey, this guy, ex-competitor is trash, come with me. That's unethical. That's not cool. What we're doing is we're engaging with them. We're automatically following them, unfollowing them, doing what we have to do. We're commenting on their posts, liking their comments, liking their past posts, liking their stories, engaging with their poll sliders, all these things. So we're popping up, and our competition's leads are seeing us pop up all over their account. They're seeing our profile page. They're seeing our reels, our posts now getting pushed into their algorithm because they see us engaging with them. And once we get that follow back from that competitor's leads, or we get a DM back, anything like that, that's when we strike. That's when we do what's called reverse selling. Now these guys will come through and they're going to be wanting to sell you because, if you run an info business, then if somebody reaches out to you or somebody's following you, you're going to reach out to them and try to sell them on whatever it is that you have to offer and figure out if you can actually help the person. So that's what they're going to try to do to us, but we're going to reverse sell them. Reversing the sale is a very easy thing to do, and I have videos explaining that, but we're not going to get into that yet. So the hijack system will hijack your competitors' leads. The speed to lead system will bring your own leads towards you. So you're running your own ads, okay? You're running your own ads here, right? And these are bringing in leads to you. And then you're also stealing your competitors' leads, and they're spending money on these leads. All you're doing is hijacking them. You're hijacking your competitors' leads, and they're also coming into your funnel, and you're also bringing in your own leads as well at the exact same time. And this is where you guys might think, okay, it's overcomplicated, all these things. This is what it comes down to. If you're like, you want to scale to 5K a month, or you want to scale to 20K plus per month, that's your choice. And this system I see it taking me way past 100K a month. I see it taking my students way past 70, 50, 80K per month. And this isn't baby games anymore. This is a system that I honestly have no words for right now. And the results really just speak for themselves. So with that being said, I will make it clear, neither of those will work if you do not reprogram your 10.0 identity operating system. Now, 10.0 is, right now you watching this video, you're probably version 1.0. Maybe you're version 3.0, because version 1.0 will be jerking his dick and smoking a vape or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So 10.0 is the best version of you, making the money that you want to be making. And it's not about become the best version of you, rah bullshit. It's about genuinely aligning with that frequency, because we know the results that you will achieve from the speed to lead funnel and the hijack system will get you to about 15 to 20K per month very quick. But if you can't withhold that amount of money and you can't withhold that frequency, then it doesn't matter. You'll lose it the next month. That's why we say we never experience inconsistent revenue, because we build the 10.0 identity operating system before we implement these two. And that's what nobody does. So let's say you hit 15K per month. And by the way, guys, like I said, I help info product owners and info business owners scale from 0 to 5K per month, all the way to 15 to 20K plus per month, just as I did myself. I only teach things that I do myself as well. So if that sounds like you, obviously feel free to book in a call and chat with me. But back to the topic, if you scale to 15K per month, what usually would happen if you don't make your identity operating system align with that frequency is you'll fall right back to your standard, whether that's 2K a month or that's 3K a month, whatever the case is, right? Now, with the 10.0 identity operating system embedded into your subconscious mind, what'll happen when you hit 15K per month is you create a new standard. And now your standard is set at 15K per month. You know, if you stoop below 15K per month, you won't be happy with yourself. You'll energetically enter into a state of pain, right? And I have a video, I'll put it up right here, that you guys can go watch, and it explains this cycle in depth. But you energetically enter a state of pain. And when you're in a state of pain, from there you get into a state of hunger. And then from hunger, you get into complacency. Then from complacency, you get into stagnation. And then from stagnation, you enter right back into a state of pain, right? So with your identity operating system rewired, 15K per month becomes a new standard for yourself. Just like brushing your teeth twice per day, it's a standard. If you don't do it, you feel disgusting. If you make less than 15K per month, you feel disgusting. You can't afford rent. You can't afford your car payment. This isn't something that you have to try to do either. This is an automatic function. This is your operating system. This is how your computer chip inside of you works, right? It's an automatic behavior. So with that being said, once you hit 15K per month with the hijack and speed delete system, you don't stoop below it. You make a new standard. And this is where all we're doing here, guys, is stacking competitive advantage on top of competitive advantage on top of competitive advantage. That's literally all we're doing here. And nobody is doing this. Everybody is selling you one half of the puzzle or two half or like 1/4 of the puzzle. Nobody's selling you the whole thing. Nobody's giving you the entire system. Nobody. That's what separates from me from the rest of the fucking gurus. I'm not a guru, but nobody's giving you the whole thing. And once you guys come to understand that, once you guys come to realize that you need to rewire your identity operating system while implementing a proven strategy to actually give you good lead acquisition, nothing will work.